Order up.
Holy that's good.
Whoa, this is actually amazing.
This is finger-licking good.
You're listening to Toronto Eats with Charlotte Lytle, where you'll learn the ins and outs of food in your city.
Hi everybody, my name is Charlotte Lytle and I am a foodie. From a very young age, I was exposed to a large variety of food and I enjoy virtually everything. If you put it in front of me, I will eat it. And lots of it too. If you have an adventurous palate and you're anything like me, you want the inside scoop on where to explore the foodie in you. This podcast is called Toronto Eats, and I will be your guide to the multicultural food hub of our country. Each episode, we will talk about different genres of food, bring in a guest speaker, and I will ask you, the listeners, to tell me your favorite places to chow down. So whether you're on a budget, you're drunk and in need of some late night comfort food, because let's be honest, we've all been there, you have a hot date, or even if your sweet tooth is acting up, listen in to Toronto Eats and learn with me the best places to be when you are hungry.
You are listening to Toronto Eats with Charlotte Lytle.
I find the best way to get to know new places to eat is through word of mouth. So up next, we have an interview with Irene Stodajuk, who is a foodie just like me. She's from Mississauga, but attends Ryerson and has been coming to Toronto for culinary adventures from a very young age. She has an extremely adventurous palate, and that adventurous palate has taken me on some journeys, and I know her insight is of great value. Irene, how are you today?
I'm feeling amazing.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
We're just going to get right into it. As somebody who has been immersed in the Toronto food scene, have you noticed any major changes over the years?
Definitely. I feel like Toronto's really blowing up the food culture. It's just getting higher and higher quality. It's turning into a little New York almost. I feel like there's a lot of fine individual shops that you can go to. There's lots of new stuff, lots of vegetarian options, lots of vegan stuff.
Yeah, something that I found yesterday, I was doing a bit of research. The city of Toronto has 8,100 restaurants, caterers, and bars. So that's actually pretty impressive. It's right up there with New York, all the big cities in the world. Do you have a favorite sector or area to go to eat?
Absolutely. I love going to the Kensington Market on pedestrian Sundays, the last Sunday of every month. They've got awesome atmosphere going on. Everybody's out on the streets. All the vendors put all their food out. You can get samples. Last time I was there, I got oysters for $1.
It's probably good for a student also. I'm sure the prices are a lot cheaper there, right?
Definitely the place for students. Lots of kids running around there.
What do you think is unique about the food scene here in Toronto?
Everybody knows it's a multicultural city, so we've got a lot of different places going on. You're always within walking distance of an Asian food place or an Indian or Arabic, African food place. There's always something new. On top of that, these restaurants are all run by families, so then you also get that atmosphere of hospitality and like warmth and culture that you can't really find in a big food chain restaurant. So it's a big benefit to have.
Yeah, that's something that I've definitely noticed. I can agree with you. Anytime I went to an Asian restaurant or Indian, the quality's super good and there is definitely a sense of community. Do you have any predictions about what we will see here in Toronto in the future?
I feel like it's just going to get bigger. I really feel like it might be heading towards more of an empire type of state. I think that there's going to be a blow up in a few more chain restaurants in the big city, but that means more independent restaurants in the suburbs. So something exciting to look forward to.
For sure, yeah, I'm definitely excited. I have 4 years here, as do you, so we're going to experience a lot. Irene and I are actually quite good friends and have bonded over the fact that we love food. We've done some exploring since being here, and I'm definitely excited to do some more with her. Final question. Where is your favorite place to eat currently in Toronto?
Every time I think about eating in Toronto, I get a flashback to this Ethiopian restaurant in Christie Pitts. It's called Nazareth. It's great for students on a budget, and it's food like no other.
It was awesome talking to you, Irene. Thank you very much for coming out today, and hope you all enjoyed that little segment.
Anything for the food.
I just wanted to thank Irene one more time for coming in and talking to me. I loved having her come in, and she had some really interesting things to say. Up next, we talked to Bo, Tanya, and Caitlin, who I found on the Ryerson campus. They had some interesting things as well to say about the Toronto food scene and the culture that surrounds our city. How do you feel about the food scene here in Toronto?
Well, I believe there's a large variety, multicultural. You feel like go into any of these stores and you'll find different varieties of food. So I don't know, I'm fine with it. I think it's cool.
I think it's really good. It's really diverse. There's always different options. If you don't know what to eat, you can just walk down on Yonge Street and you're going to find something regardless.
I think that Toronto has a great food scene. There's a lot of different nationalities of food to have, depending on what mood you're in. I especially love the Mexican food here. But yeah, I would say it has a great food culture.
Where would you find the ethnic food that you're looking for? Your favorite type of ethnic food?
My favorite type of ethnic food, well, I'm a huge taco fan. Love Mexican food. And there's so many Mexican pop-up shops that are coming up around Toronto because of the whole taco craze. So one of my favorite places is on like Church and Dundas, Taco 101.
I was just going to say that. Awesome. I've never been there, but should I go?
So good, yeah.
If you were taking somebody on a first date for dinner, where would you take them and why?
I think I would go to, Kinka Izakaya on Gerrard and Church. It's a tapa-style Japanese restaurant, and there's so many different options, and there's small plates and there's shareables, so you could really generate good conversation even around just what you're eating.
It was interesting to see what other people had to say about food here in Toronto, and I definitely have some new places I need to check out.
Order up.
Toronto Eats with Charlotte Lytle.
So now that you've heard from the people of the streets, it's time for you to hear from me. I'm going to tell you why I love food so much and why it's such a passionate topic for me. Those who know me know that I absolutely love food. I love everything about it. The creativity that goes behind every dish, the influence culture has on food, and the way it brings people together. But I haven't always thought about food in such a profound way. That view did not occur overnight. It was a bit of a process. I used to be a picky eater. I used to be the kid that hated cooked tomatoes, literally gagged at sweet potatoes, wouldn't touch seasoned fish, and only ate the radish garnish when out for sushi with my family. How could I have passed up sushi? I was a stubborn and angry little kid with a nice potbelly. A potbelly made only from the food that I wanted to eat. Although I don't know when it happened, I do know why. I grew an interest in food, and I owe it all to my parents. I know some parents who made 2 dinners every single night, one for the adults and one for the kids. That was not an option in my family. My mom did most of the cooking, and she never held back. The cooking that my mom does is quite experimental. She always was inspired by different ethnicities, and at a very young age, I was eating butter chicken, curry chicken, spicy stews, pad thai, trout, tofu, blackened tilapia, bean salads, soba noodle salads, and Brussels sprouts, and soon enough, I literally loved it all. I am so appreciative of my adventurous eating habits, especially now that I'm living downtown for school. I get to go on some crazy adventures around the city just to try something new. A month ago, my friend and I found ourselves in a small Korean restaurant in Christie Pitts, and there I ordered goat stew. It was kind of a mistake ordering goat stew because I forgot that goat wasn't normal affair. People don't normally just order goat. I think I was thinking of lamb when I ordered it, but I ordered it anyways, and I actually enjoyed it. So you get used to it. The more you experiment, the easier it gets to try new things and to have some really cool experiences. It's a goal of mine while I live downtown to push my boundaries and try things that stand out. I'm aware that there will be times that it may not work exactly the way I expected, but there is always a chance that I will eat something that is out of this world delicious.
You are listening to Toronto Eats with Charlotte Lytle.
Thank you all so much for listening to my podcast today. I really hope that you felt the passion come through from not just myself, but all the people that I've talked to. And I really hope that you can take away at least 2 restaurants that you want to try out. Do it, take the risk. I'm telling you, it will be worth it.